get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that heartbeat, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around me, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713, you do it when you're riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low key. I'm sipping low key and honest, right or right. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that heartbeat, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. When I'm pulling up right beside you, pop star Lil Mariah. When I text a cute gay and wildness, throw a stack on the Bible, never Snapchat or took Molly. She fought for plenty, her and all her guineas, yeah. We at the top floor, right there after Henny, yeah. Oh no, I can't fuck with y'all, yeah. When I'm with my squad, I cannot do no wrong, yeah. Saucing in the city, don't get mentioned from, yeah. They gon' pull up on you, yeah. We gon' do some things you can't relate, yeah. Cause we from a place you cannot stay. Oh, you can't go, oh, I don't know. Oh, back the fuck up. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals for Division A. So this is the final race for Division A. It will consist out of 2 races of 20 minutes each plus a lap once the qualifying is done. Now, they have been busy with qualifying for a little while already as we were getting the stream started up and set up and get everything ready and running. To have a little bit of a look at the track tonight, the guys are racing on Kyalami, which is in, I think it's Johannesburg in South Africa, Cape Town. Well, Johannesburg, South Africa. Sorry, not Cape Town. I'm from Cape Town. But anyway, so you can see there's quite a few long straights and a lot of sharp corners. Not a lot of passing opportunity, especially not if the driver in front of you is running that defensive lines. However, if you do tend to run wide off the track and get that kitty litter or catch the grass, you are going to end up having a bit of problems, losing time and a few positions when it comes to this track, especially in this class. It is extremely close times and very fast racing. So at the moment we have in our first position for qualifying, we've got Peter Geldenhuys with a 1 minute 51.8. In second position, Well, let's just do it in this way. Make it a little bit better to do. So, in first position, we do have Peter Geldenhuys with a 1 minute 51.8 in that very nice green and pink, or is it yellow and pink Sim Crew Mini. I feel the need for speed at the bottom of that Mini. Very nice looking car there from Peter Geldenhuys. In second position in the Sim Experience SA Mini, we have Dennis with a 1 minute 51.8. In third position, we have Jamie in the Standard Power Max 22 Mini. In fourth position, we have Peter Grobler in that very nice looking black and red Jackdaw Racing Mini RV, the number 22, and he's at the moment doing a 1 minute 51.9. He's up on his delta and he's pushing it very hard, trying to gain at least another 1 or 2 positions for the start of this finals. Then in fifth position in that MC Fishing Mini, the number 50, we have Sean doing a 152 dead at the moment. So he's also trying to push hard. He's a little bit down in his delta and maybe can make up for it in a few more corners. There is still 7 and almost 8 minutes left of qualifying. In sixth position, we've got Donnie van Rooyen in that very nice looking maximum effort custom accessories 47 mini of his, doing a 152.2. Then we've got his teammate in the number 80 maximum effort custom accessories mini, that very nice looking green mini of James, who is also doing a 152.3. So there's less than 0.1 of a second between him and Donnie at the moment. In 8th position, we've got the partner of Peter Geldenhuys in that very nice looking number 9 Sim Crew Racing Mini of his, doing a 1 minute 52.369. There is about 0.05 of a second between him and James. In 9th position, very nice to see him out there. We've got Christopher Long. He's our Mr. Drift champion in in Cape Town. He does real life racing and drifting. He races for Mike's Place Racing in the real life as well as in the sim racing. Very well done and very nice looking mini of him or of his there. In 10th in the Speed Shop 78, we've got Gijsberg Nagel in a very nice blue, white and green mini as he locks up the wheels, pushing it very hard into the corner there, into Yuxkay sweep, trying to gain as much time on the qualifying. He's doing a 152.4. And then in 11th, we've got Renier Leach at the moment, who is in that OC Brewery mini of his, doing a 1 minute 52.9. So as you can see, from 1st to 11th position, there is about 1 second gap between the fastest and the slowest driver in qualifying. But again, it doesn't matter how fast you go in qualifying. It all depends on what you can do in the race. So this is going to be a very interesting one to watch. It's very nice to see everyone out there on the YouTube channel. I do know we have 15 viewers at the moment. I wish I knew everyone that's out there, but very welcome and good evening to you all. I hope you are very nice and warm with a cup of coffee or something to keep you warm, blankets. Thanks for joining us. I can see Matt Williams that's saying this race should be a banger. Yes, I do agree with you. It should be. Again, very welcome to Dangerous Banana. Welcome back. You did join us in for the first one. Please, yes, guys, do hit that like button. Do subscribe to our channel. Go to Facebook. Find us under Sim Race Africa. Join our Facebook page. Follow us. Get our Discord link there if you want to join in on the racing. Get our WhatsApp group. Come and join us. Always stay updated to what's happening and what's coming. We have a lot of leagues coming up. I do know we have our next league will be the Polo Cup that's coming up. It is still under the working and in progress. Peter Grobler is working very hard on finishing that polo. It's a brand new polo that he's building for us, so it's going to be very fun to watch. Do join in. And then after that, we should have our Mustang V8 Masters that we will also be doing. Again, Peter is also still working on that one. So do stay tuned, follow us, like and subscribe, and stay tuned to the racing. For anyone that wants to start some racing, feel free to ask any questions and we will try our best to answer as good as what we can. Then I see we've got Kelsey also saying, go James, enjoy the racing. We've got Timo out there also saying hi. It's very nice to see our Division 2 class or Division B guys that is joining in on the stream supporting the Class A drivers. Always nice to have you guys there. And then we've got Wimpy de Beer also watching us saying go Team Leech. Well, guys, that is out there that has not said something on the stream, feel free to drop a message, introduce yourself, tell me your name, and I can also say hi to you and see who is out there and who's busy watching. Please do go and share this link to your family and friends. Get more people to watch us. We are live. This is not a retake or a replay. This is all live. So do sit back and enjoy the racing. And I can assure you this one is going to be a banger of a race. And I don't mean banger as in bumping cars, but just full of action and very close racing. Between the first and second place, there is 0.093 of a second gap. Again, between second and third, there is about a 0.01 gap between the two of them. These guys are extremely close to one another, and it's going to be interesting to watch what happens in the coming of the first race in the finals for this class. But again, like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm not too sure what's going on with my stream at the moment, but I do see there is some glitches happening at the moment. I do hope I can get it sorted out and get it back up and going as soon as possible. Again, I do not know what's happening, and I do apologize for what's going on at the moment. Okay, and we're back. Sorry, it seems like I got that sorted out. I'm not too sure what was the problem, but I had to restart my side of the server and get it back up and going. So having a look at the YouTube channel, I see Joni Lee, who is our lady racer in Group B, saying go, go, button pusher. Well, she's actually shouting there for James Crook, who when he started racing with us, he was racing on a controller. So the joke is just about him pushing the buttons on the controller. And then we've got Kelsey also having a little bit of a chat there to Joni. And then still Gerrit Niemand that's also there saying, go Peter number 2. Yes, guys, we do have a lot of Peters on our servers. I think there's about 4 or 5. So we've got Peter Gelnys, Peter Grobler, Peter the Toy, and I just can't remember all of them. So it's quite interesting, and you get a lot of confusion, especially me, between the guys. I see Gerrit Niemand. It was very sad not to have you in the Division B class out there tonight. I hope that you'll be able to join in the racing for the Polo Cup more often. I do know that Sundays is a little bit difficult. Then we've got Rob van der Heever that's also saying hi, saying that it was an amazing series. He was also part of our Group B class. We've got a lot of our Group B class that is joining in and supporting the A class guys. And then we've also got Tyron Wesley, who's also a new driver out there. He was racing in our C class for this evening. So thank you guys for joining in and supporting us. And yes, I can also not wait for the Polo Cup. It's going to be one to watch. Really going to be interesting. And I do hope that I can compete myself. But we will have to wait and see. So for the start of this race, we now have Dennis that moved up into the pole position with that very fast 1 minute 51.565 around the track. That is extremely fast out there. In second, we've got Peter. I'm not too sure which one this is. I'm going to try and see if I can have a look to see if this is Peter Geldenhuys or Peter Grobler. It is Peter Geldenhuys that's in the second position. And then we've got Peter Grobler in third. Jamie in fourth. In fifth, we've got Sean. In sixth, we've got Christopher. Seventh is Renier. Eighth, Donnie. Ninth, Stefan. 10th, James. And 11th, we've got Gijsberg. So they are in overtime. It's going to be about another 2 minutes. And then we will have the start of this race. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one to watch. I'll be back with you now.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713, 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and honest, rider. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. When I'm pulling up right beside you, pops all in my ride. When I execute game wildness, throw a stack on the Bible. Never Snapchat or took Molly. She fought with plenty, her and all her guineas. Yeah, we at the top floor, right there off through Henny. Yeah, oh no, I can't fuck with y'all. Yeah, when I'm with my squad, I cannot do no wrong. Yeah, saucing in the city, don't get mentioned wrong. Yeah, they gon' pull up on you. Yeah, we gon' do some things you can't relate. Yeah, cause we from a place you cannot stay. Oh, you can't go. Oh, I don't know. Oh, back the fuck up. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got about 1.5 minutes left before the start of this race. It's going to be very interesting to watch. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm not sure about you, but I hope that you are too. Just to answer a quick question, I see Matt Williams has asked a question saying how many of these guys actually has full build rigs. There is quite a few that has full setup rigs, and then there's quite a few that races by their desks. And then I also do know we had a driver at a stage that was using an ironing board with his steering wheel mounted on that to actually race with. So not everyone has very fancy equipment, but we do work with what we have and we make the best of what we have. So if you want to build a rig, you're looking at about roughly, you can do it for under $1,000. You can build yourself a cheap little rig like mine that I've got is built out of 19mm square tubing. It didn't cost me a lot of money, but it is a very functional rig. So you can get away for a very low price and just have a lot of fun. Otherwise, if you mount it to your desk, still feel free to join in. Doesn't mean because you have the best equipment that you are the best driver out there. I do know Tyron was racing with a 300 Rand dinky toy steering wheel with us and some guys with controllers. So feel free and join in. We've got 10 seconds as we are starting on the starting or standing on the starting grid. We are going to be live with Dennis. It's going to take a few minutes before I can jump over into the cameras. But for now, let's keep an eye out and see what happens as they start this one off. Just going to go to the outside view, get a better view there. You can see a little bit of contact between James and Donnie as they get off the start. Going here through the kink and hitting that. Oh, there is bad contact there at the back. I'm not too sure what happened there. And I see my screen is jumping around with this black spots again. I really don't understand what's going on with my server at the moment. I will have to get that sorted out soon. I'm not too sure if it's maybe the camera view or what's going on, but I do apologize for it. I will get it up and going as soon as possible and get it fixed. Just going further or back up to the front of the pit, changing the camera view. Yes, it seems like that might, nope, still hasn't sorted out the problem. I do again apologize for it. I will have to jump out and get back in. I'm really sorry for this. It is not my intention to have this thing messing around at the moment. You can see there was a little bit of contact there between the drivers as they came through the corner there. Just give us a few minutes and I will get this sorted out as soon as possible. Again, I do apologize for it. And we are back. I'm really sorry for that. I do know that you missed out quite a bit of the race, and I do sincerely apologize for that. At the moment, in first position, we have Pieter Geldenhuis, who's just busy running away with this one. He's already got a 2.7, 2.8 second lead there over the second place driver, who at the moment is Renier Leach. That has Dennis and Pieter Geldenhuis right there behind him, along with Pieter and Stefan. This is almost a five-way battle there for second position, as Dennis and Pieter is now really putting the pressure on Renier. Now, we do know that Renier is a very confident driver. He's been with us for a while. He's raced this one in the last year, as well as the Polo Cup and the BTCC. He got a little bit lost there on Tony Rust for a little while, but I'm glad to see he found his way back onto the track, as he has joined us now for the mini league and will most probably be joining for the Polo Cup again. So he still has Dennis there on the back of him, and now Pieter has Stefan to worry about, as Stefan is now trying to get past him there as well. Further down the back, we've got Christopher Long that now lost that position to Donnie, but Donnie runs a bit wide, allowing Christopher to come back up on the inside of him, and almost made a bit of contact as they're running side by side, going there through Cheetah and Christopher putting that mini onto two wheels into Ingwe. They now go heading into the main straight as they get to the start finish, going through the kink and then into Crowford there, as you still have in the front Pieter running away. So I'm going to focus a little bit here at the back with Renier as well as Dennis. Dennis now running that slipstream and having a look up on the inside of Renier. If he gets this one on the inside, he might have the best line for the next two corners, but he gets that move past and also allows Pieter to get past there. Well, he's still ahead of Stefan there, that is trying to get that position from him. But very well done to Dennis, who finally got to make that move past Renier. Now Renier has to worry about Pieter Grobler, who's sitting right there behind him as they're going into Sunset. hard on the brakes, locking up that little wheels, running a bit wide, almost off the track, but keeps control going through Clubhouse Bend. They are doing very well running that defensive lines, but Peter got a better drive, having a look up on the inside, but he falls back, going into the S's and heading up to Leeuwkop now. This is a very fast and tight sweep that they are heading through, going up the hill now into Leeuwkop, as Peter is going to have a look up on the inside. This is a dangerous corner to make you move. You can try to run around the outside and then cut back to the inside, but if you've got the line too wide, you will end up losing time as you go off the track and then have to regain with the entire train of minis that is sitting here behind Renier, and all saying they want a bit of action and they want to come past. Peter is really running that slipstream now, diving up on the inside, late on the brakes, but hard. Will he be able to perform that undercut? Yes, he overshoots that corner a bit too much, and Renier comes back up on the inside of him. Now has the inside line, pushing Peter a little bit wide off the track and allows Stefan to come past Peter, and now Peter also has Donnie to worry about. That's also trying to get past him there, and Donnie runs very wide off the track, and Peter now is falling in behind Donnie, but he does have the inside line. Can he make this move? But there's again an entire train that is sitting behind them. Peter now falling in behind Donnie, having Christopher Long that's also right there, as well as Jamie and James, the two Jameses that is fighting it out. Oh, and there was some slight, I'm not too sure what happened there. I'm not too sure whether Christopher was just too hard on the brakes and slid the backside out, or if there was some contact, but he did lose it on that corner, losing some positions and also causing James Crook to now fall back quite a distance behind the rest of the pack. We still have the fight there between Peter and Donnie, and right up behind Peter is James at the moment, that's also going to try and capitalize as Peter moves past Donnie there. But Donnie is running defensive lines, keeping that mini as tight as what he can and running all of the apexes, getting the best drive out there. But Peter has a look up on the inside as they go into the S's, almost putting that mini onto two wheels, making some contact there with Donnie and losing out big time as Peter runs very far off the track, hitting that tire barrier and now falling back into the pits with a DNF. Unfortunately, he was pushing a little bit too hard, losing out on that one and ending up not being able to finish this race. It is extremely sad to see that happen. But again, it is racing, and sometimes you just push a little bit too hard and end up losing out on that one. You will be back with the second race and hopefully do a little bit better there. As we go further up to the front of the pack now, we have a very nice fight between Stefan and Renier Leach, as Stefan has now made his move past Renier into that third position and gonna try and work his way onto the back there of Dennis, and maybe we can have a sim crew 1 and 2. But at the moment, we do have number 1 and 3 is the same team running there in that very nice looking yellow and pink Sim Crew minis. Now Peter has a comfortable, Peter has a very comfortable 3-second lead there over Dennis in second position, who's got almost about a 2 or 3 second lead, a 3-second lead over Stefan. So he at the moment does not have much to worry about. Just maintain consistency and focus on the race, and he should be able to finish this one there in second position, as they do only have 8.4 minutes or 8 minutes and 40 seconds left of this race. But Stefan still has Renier that is all over the back of him, trying his hardest to come back and take that third position again from him. So we still have Christopher Longs and James Crook that is now fighting it out here for the 6th position. We also have Donnie van Rooyen that's also there in the mix. So we've got the 2 maximum effort minis all over the back there of the Mike's Place mini of Christopher Long, and they really want that position from him, but he does know how to make a mini as wide as a bus. And there was some contact between him and James, as James is just trying to tell him, hey, I'm here, you better get a move on, I want this position from you, or I want to move up in the back, so step on it or move out the way. Again, there is every now and then a slight little bit of a bump, but nothing major. As long as they keep it clean, it's good. Donnie now dives up on the inside and unfortunately makes contact there with Christopher Long. But you can see Donnie is slowing down, allowing Christopher to get that position back. Very nicely done there by Donnie. Very gentlemanlike, and that is the way we like to do it at SRA. When you do make contact with a driver and you know it was your fault, rather back out, cost yourself a few positions and give them their position back. Otherwise, at the end of the race stewards will have a look and there will be an investigation, and then you will most probably end up getting penalized. As we do try and strive to have the closest and cleanest racing possible on SRA, we are quite strict with our rules and regulations onto allowing contact and the severity of it. You can get anywhere from a 5-second penalty to a drive-through penalty on the track in the race, or even as bad as get disqualified from a race, banned from the next one, or even disqualified completely out of the series, as what happened to one of the drivers in our mini league this season. It's very unfortunate, but again, like we say, no matter who you are or how high up in the ranks you are, everyone is on the track to race and compete with one another and gets the same severity of penalties depending on what happened. Just having a little bit of a look further back, I see the guys are trying to motivate Kelsey here to join in the sim racing. It's always nice to have guys and, well, to have more women and younger people racing with us. I think the youngest we have is at the moment 16. That is Kian Gous, the son of Melvin Gous, that is out on the track racing with us. And I can guarantee you this youngster is extremely fast. He was racing in our Group B class, not in this one. But he had a look up, or had a little bit of a look, and tried to run with them in the previous race last week. And he actually were able to keep up to them with the times. However, his experience was not as good as what these were, so he fell out and then rather got out of the way instead of costing someone their championship. So join in, feel free, women, kids, adults, it doesn't matter, men, feel free to set up the ladies to race. We are trying to work on something where we want to have what they call the spouses race. So meaning all the men will be sitting on the sidelines and getting their wives and girlfriends or daughters in their rigs and get them to race with one another for a little bit of a fun event. So again, we do have our major leagues that is running like the mini one at the moment, and then we will be having our Polo Cup after this, and then the Mustang V8 Supermasters that will be coming up after that. And in between, we do have our fun races and beer lobbies where anyone can join in and have fun, also learn the cars and tracks and better their own driving style. So again, feel free to join in. Once a league has started, we can allow some drivers to still join in afterwards with late entries, but we do try and avoid it. Otherwise, you can join in the front races. Having a little bit of a look further down the pack, we can see Gijsberg and Dani that has now caught up to one another and is trying to fight that out there for the 9th position, as Dani is trying to defend as hard as what he can on that position. I do know that he's struggling a little bit with this one. He is mainly an oval track racing driver and also does love a rear wheel drive car, and adapting to the mini with the front wheel drive has been a little bit of a tough one, but he's not doing very bad out there. And I do have to say he's very good at what he does and he adapts very quickly. Now I do know that Maximum Effort is also his business, so please do go and support them. They do custom accessories for 4x4s and buckies. So if you want anything done to your bucky, feel free to go and ask them for some assistance and a quotation. And now we've got Sean and Christopher, who is fighting it out there for the 7th position, with Sean that has made his move on Christopher, now having to brake a little bit later, trying to keep that mini on the track. But Christopher does know how to perform a very good undercut and will instantly start applying that pressure back onto Sean as they're going through barbecue there at the moment and heading into the S's. James at the moment in 7th or in 6th position, just comfortably sitting there trying to get away from Sean and Christopher at the moment, but not succeeding with that one so greatly. Then we've got James Leach, who was actually supposed to be in the OC Brewery Mini. I'm not too sure why he's in that max powered Mini tonight, but I do know that he's racing for Team OC Brewery also, and that is his brother that's in front of him, Renier Leach, in the 4th position at the moment. In 3rd, we've got the Sim Crew Stefan that is comfortably there in 4th position with 2 seconds, well, about 1.5 to 2 seconds between him and Renier, and he's trying his best to close that gap onto Dennis, but Dennis and Peter is just running away with this race, and they've got about a 3-second gap between the two of them, and then again a 3-second gap between Dennis and Stefan. So these two guys can just sit back and relax and just drive their drive, maintain their consistency, and they will be definitely finishing in 1st and 2nd position. However, I do have to mention this, the start of the 2nd race will be a full reverse grid, and these guys will be the ones that ends in pole position or in 1st place will be starting right at the back of the grid. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they can again work their way through the field and up to the front of the pack to get top scoring points for the night. Again, just having a little bit of a look there on the YouTube channel, I see that we've got B-Meister, that's Omar. He is actually the team leader for the Mike's Place crew that is racing on the sim racing. He's also the founding member of TTSA. So feel free to go and have a look at their page as well. They mostly do drifting, but they do enjoy joining in some of our racing leagues that we have and putting some of the drivers out there. We still have Craig and Timo also on the channel. It's very nice to have everyone joining us, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the racing with me and as much as what I'm enjoying it. So we still have Peter, who is now busy doing his 2nd final lap, if I'm not wrong, as he's going there through Leeuwkop and into the mine shaft. He's got 40 seconds left for this race, and then there will be one more lap. So if he can finish this lap within the next 40 seconds, there will be 2 laps left to go before this one comes to an end, as he's now going into Crocodile, very hard on the brakes, sharp turning there, running a little bit wide off onto that apex, coming there into Cheetah now, and then into Ingwe. There's 19 seconds left for this one as he now goes into Ingwe out of Cheetah and then into the start finish. It seems like they'll be having 2 more laps as there's 10 seconds left to go, and he'll be going over the start finish line with just a few seconds to spare. Yes, that is 4 seconds left as he goes over the start finish line, so they'll have 2 laps left to go in this race. He was really trying to push it very hard to get that extra one in there. Now going into Crowthorne, he's got Dennis still behind him that has now closed that gap slightly down to a 2.2 second gap between him and Dennis at the moment, and he has actually increased his gap there between him and Stefan to about a 5-second lead, with Stefan now sitting comfortably there still with James and Renier Leach, who's now made a position change. So James Leach has been able to pass his brother there and goes up into the 4th place. Then we still have Sean, James Crook and Christopher that is fighting it out there for that 6th position, and behind them we've got Gijsberg and Donnie that is fighting it out for the 9th position. And the nice thing about the A-Class is no matter where on the track you are, front, middle or back, you will always have a very nice battle with some of the drivers, and there will always be someone to drive with. You're never on the track alone. So still we have Peter Grobler that is in the pits with that DNF. It is very unfortunate that he dropped out of this one. Peter Geldener is going there into mine shaft, running into the crocodiles, and then he's got Cheetah and Ingwe left before he goes into the start finish to get to the last lap of this race. He is doing very well out there. He's got still a 2.5 second lead over Dennis, who is still comfortably just pulling a gap there over Stefan, and then Stefan still has that very comfortable lead over James. So the pack is quite spread out at the moment, but they are doing the best they can and definitely pushing it very hard to finish this one in the best position, as Peter Galnes has now started the final lap of this race, going through the kink and then heading into Crowthorne at the moment. Hard on the brakes, you can see the smoke coming there from the tires, going into the YXK sweep, and from there they should be going into barbecue. Yes, he's going into barbecue at the moment, running out, hitting that apex on the outside. He's got a very comfortable and neat line. He's very consistent on his driving lines as he runs wide into Sunset, keeping it close to the inside, getting onto that apex, running wide out as he's now going into Clubhouse Bend. After this, he will be getting into the S's as he's running again wide off the track. Very nice line, very nice and clean. Going into the S's, running tight over that chicane there. You can see there that Dennis in the background pushing hard, locking up the brakes, going up into Leeuwkop at the moment, heading up the uphill here. Very tricky corner to go through is Leeuwkop, but he does it very well every time that he goes through here. Going through the mineshaft, and then heading down into Crocodile and then Cheetah as well. This is almost the end of this race. He's really pushing it hard, doing a very, very fast lap time as he's now getting there into Crocodiles, hard on the brakes, locking up a bit, going through Crocodiles, heading into Cheetah. This is only 2 more corners left. He's only got Cheetah and Ingwe as he's then going to be heading down the main straight and finishing this race there in the first position for this evening, putting him unfortunately right at the back at the start of the second one, but I'm pretty sure he'll be able to work his way through the pack. And as you now can see, as he's over the start finish line, we've got Pieter Geldenhuys, Dennis coming here in second position. Then in third position, we will have the other sim crew sweeping left and right. Stefan, James that's finishing in fourth. Renier Leach in fifth. Sean there in sixth position. James in seventh. Christopher in eighth. Donnie in ninth. And Gijsberg there in the 10th position. And again, unfortunately, we have Peter Grobler in the pits with that DNF. That is the end of the first race, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a little bit of a breather and I will see you back within the next 2 to 3 minutes with the start of the second race.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713, you do it when you're riding. Why they on me? Why they on me? I'm flying, yeah. Sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and honest. Rider, rider. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time I need that Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, throw that to the side, yeah. When I'm pulling up right beside you, pop star Lil Mariah, you might text a cute game wildness. Throw a stack on the Bible, never Snapchat or took Molly. She falls with plenty, her and all her guineas, yeah. We at the top floor, right there off through Henny, yeah. Oh no, I can't fuck with y'all, yeah. When I'm with my squad, I cannot do no wrong, yeah. Saucing in the city, don't get misinformed, yeah. They gon' pull up on you, yeah. We gon' do some things you can't relate, yeah. Cause we from a place you cannot stay. Oh, you can't go, oh, I don't know. Oh, back the fuck up. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah.
Well, we are back for the second race for this evening in the A class that is doing their finals on Kyalami tonight. So we're having a full reverse grid at the moment for the start of this one. And the grid will be as follows. Pieter Geldenhuys, Dennis Mitchell, Stefan Sparks, James Leach, Renier Leach, Sean Weber, James Crook, Christopher Long, Dani van Rooyen, Gijsberg Nagel, and then Peter Grobler, who is there in the... Okay, but this is quite interesting to see. I think this was the finishing positions, not the starting positions for the second one, unless they are not having an inverted grid. I'm not too sure. We will have to wait and see what happens when they get onto the starting line. But usually it should show the starting positions at already. But again, like I said, it sometimes have a little bit of a glitch or technical difficulty that is out there. So 15 seconds before they will be putting or pulling up on the grid, and then we'll have another minute before the lights goes out, and we can get this one started for this evening. Yes, there you can see they are now getting put on the grid. And we have Gijsberg Nagel that will be starting in first position. Second will be Dani van Rooyen, Christopher Long, James Crook, Sean Weber, Renier Leach, James Leach, Stefan Sparks, Dennis Mitchell, Peter Geldenhuys, and then unfortunately Peter Grobler, who will not be joining us for the second race. It's a little bit of bad luck that he's had there tonight, but I hope and I know we will be seeing him back for the second one. Well, for the next race, which will be the Polo Cup that we're starting. And he is actually the person that is building the cars. And I do know that some of the guys is busy working on the tracks and trying to improve them. So getting this one on the way, we have Gijsberg Nagel that will be taking us off the line for the start of this one, as we now just on board with them. As they're heading down the straight, you can see James having a very good start there, trying to avoid any contact, pulling to the inside, slowing down a bit, and they are going. Dani van Rooyen having a nice look up on the inside, drivers running a bit wide. Nagel now trying to go defensive with Chris Long that's having a look up on the inside, and again there was contact between James and another driver. I'm not too sure what happened on that one, but we will have to have a look on the replay after the race, and the race stewards will be investigating that one and see what's going or what happened there. So we still have Dani now in the lead of this one, and he's got Peter Geldenhuys, the leader of the winner for the first race, who is there in second position, who's got Christopher Long trying to have a look up on the inside, but he keeps that defensive line. James Leach running very wide there on the outside, having Gijsberg behind him. Peter Geldenhuys now has to defend his second position there against Christopher Long, who's not a very easy driver to keep behind you. However, we do know that Peter Geldenhuys is a very fast driver, and he's been doing the fastest, well, almost doing the fastest times there in the qualifying, but he did win the first race for this evening. So we'll have to see what happens as I go through Leeuwkop. Christopher Long is now trying to have a look up on the outside, having a little bit of contact there with Geldenhuys, running wide, and then James nicely avoiding that incident there, but they are bumping a little bit left and right as they're now going there through Mineshaft, heading down to Crocodile. This is going to be interesting to watch as they are now coming down the mains or down this section into Crocodile. We still have Christopher Long and Geldenhuys that's side by side, and now have Nagel that's also in the mix there with Sean that's saying, hey, I also want a piece of this action, make some room. They're running side by side there through Cheetah, going into Ingwe as they're now finishing the first lap of this race, and Donnie is just sitting in the front saying, hey guys, keep fighting there behind me. I'm comfortable here, and the more you fight, the more I can pull away from you guys and stay in the lead. We do have an entire train of minis. This is almost the entire field that is fighting it out here for first and second, and then again for third and fourth as they're coming three wide into the corner. Gijsberg running wide, James Leach just getting up into that one, running a little bit wide there again, allowing Sean to come past, and there was major contact between them. And James Leach unfortunately losing out and hitting that barrier, now having to rejoin the track, although it's a little bit dangerous because he's got two drivers coming down this section of the track and he might be a little bit in the way. He pulls into the inside, allowing them to go past on the outside, but unfortunately you see James Leach running just off the track. They're trying to avoid that incident there. Well, sorry, it was Renier Leach that was trying to avoid making contact there with his brother. Going up to the front again, we still have Christopher Long, who's got Geldenhuys behind him. He's really doing the best he can as he goes through the S's and heading up into Leeuwkop at the moment. This is going to be an interesting one to watch between the two of them. Dennis now just pulling away there from Gijsberg and working his way up to the back there of Pieter Geldenhuys and Christopher Long. Further down the pack, Nagel is just sitting there comfortably with a 2-second lead over Sean, who has Stefan behind him, but there is a very, very comfortable 5-second lead between Stefan and Sean at the moment. So Sean doesn't have much to worry about, but James Crook is now trying to close that gap onto Stefan, and he's got the two Leach brothers behind him, and they're not going to stay there. They're going to work their way onto him, and they're going to try and get that position away from him there. Christopher Long now starting to pull a slight gap there over Pieter Geldenhuys. He's got about a second gap between the two of them. However, Christopher Long was doing a little bit slower lap times. No, he was doing a faster lap time there than Geldenhuys, with almost 0.5 of a second faster than Pieter Geldenhuys. So it will be interesting to see if he can actually keep the Mini in the second position, or will Geldenhuys be able to get past and take that top scoring points for this evening. And if I'm not wrong, I'm just going to have a little bit of a look here. At the moment, the championship standings for Division A is Dennis Mitchell in first position, Pieter Geldenhuys in second, Pieter Grobler in third, James Leach in fourth. In fifth is Sean Webber. In sixth is Stefan Sparks. Seventh is Renier Leach. Eighth is Dani van Rooyen. Ninth, James Crook. 11th is Gijsberg Nagel. So that means because Pieter Grobler has dropped out of this one, unfortunately, that will put James Leach there into the third position. And then also Sean Webber also going into that fourth position. And then Pieter will be dropping down there into the fifth position, as there was only 1 point difference between those three drivers. So he's unfortunately losing out a bit on this one. But I'm pretty sure he will come back and do better in the Polo Cup. That was his baby last year, and he's going to do it again this year, I can assure you. Then we've got Pieter Geldenhuys and Dennis Mitchell, who's got about 12 points between the two of them. So if Geldenhuys can take this one, he might just be able to take the win there from Dennis. But otherwise, Dennis should be able to finish this one in first position. As you can see now, Pieter Geldenhuys has made his move there on Christopher Long, running around the outside there, going through Cheetah and into Ingwe. Christopher Long runs a little bit wide. Now he's got Dennis to worry about, because Dennis is now going to try and work his way up. That is our championship leader that's in fourth position, and the second place for the championship that's there in second position. So this will be the deciding one. Who's going to be able to run away with this one and take the championship? Will Dennis be able to maintain it, or is he going to lose it out there to Geldenhuys? Unfortunately, like I said, Pieter Grobler has lost that third position and went down all the way into fifth position with James Leach and Sean Webber, that will be passing him in the point scoring going up into the championship. You can see Christopher Long is not backing out of this one with Pieter Geldenhuys. He wants a piece of the action. He wants that second position back. So he's really pushing hard, going to have a look up on the inside as they go into Clubhouse Bend. Did he make that move? Yes, he went past Geldenhuys. Now pushing Geldenhuys a bit wide, allowing Dennis to also get into the mix there, who's now going to have a look up on the inside, passing Pieter Geldenhuys there in the SS. And he has taken that third position there from Pieter Geldenhuys. But he's not backing out. Again, running over the sausage skip, gonna try and run around the outside there. Yes, he goes around the outside, but he runs a little bit wide. He opens the door again for Dennis to come back, but he's on that slipstream. He's gonna have a look up on the outside or inside for the next race as they're going down the mine shaft and into Crocodile. He's now got the inside line in mine shaft, but again the outside line for Crocodile. Christopher Long hard on the brakes. Pieter Geldenhuys braking a little bit late, running very, very wide, allowing Dennis to just comfortably come past again and get back into that third position. Now they're going through Cheetah and into Ingwe. This is where it's going to get close, is as they come out of Ingwe, who's got the best line and the better run down the start-finish straight, going through the kink and into Crowford. Will Pieter Geldenhuys be able to run that slipstream, or is Dennis just going to pull away with this one, as he got a better drive going out of Ingwe there and down into the kink? Coming down here into Crowford now, keep Pieter Geldenhuys a little bit late on the brakes, trying to get right there on the back, going through Crowford and into Yuxke Sweep. Up next will be the Clubhouse Bend. Can Peter Barbecue and then Clubhouse Bend? Will he be able to get back into that third position, or will Dennis take this one away from him? Chris Long is just pushing that Mini to the max. He's fighting it all the way as hard as what he can, doing the best he can, keeping that second position and trying now to pull a gap. He knows that Dennis and Peter is going to be fighting there for that third position, which will maybe allow him to pull a slight gap on them and just comfortably sit back there in that second position and not have to worry about the two of them, and hopefully finish in that one. As they're now going through Leeuwkop, you've got Peter Geldenhuys that is really getting onto the back there of Dennis, going through the mine shaft and then into Crocodiles. As this is the last few corners of this lap again, they are really pushing it hard. You can see Peter is really trying to throw that Mini around the corners, getting late on the brakes, trying to get that apex as good as what he can to get through Crocodile and then flat out through Cheetah, going into Ingwe. It's a corner where you basically don't have to brake going through there, but if you get your line wrong, you're either going to run off or you're going to get put onto two wheels as you go there through Cheetah and then down into Ingwe. They're now running over the start finish line. They are doing very similar times. However, Dennis has done the fastest lap time between the three of them, so he's really busy closing that gap there onto Christopher Long and slightly pulling away from Geldenhuys, but Geldenhuys is not allowing him to get away or get enough breathing room to get away from him. But Christopher Long now has Dennis to worry about because he's all over the back of that Mini of his. Gonna go a little bit on, not too sure what's going on now. There we go, we're now on board there with Dennis as he's sitting right on the back there of Christopher Long, going into Sunset. You can see in his mirror at the top, you've got Peter Geldenhuys that is really trying to catch up to them, but unfortunately they are pulling away from him a slight bit as Chris runs a bit light into that grass section, now allowing Dennis to get onto the back of him, going into the S's, running it very tightly through there. Chris keeping a very nice defensive line, making sure he's getting all of his apexes and not allowing any room there for Dennis to come past. But Dennis is trying to have a look up on the inside. No, he does not have the speed to actually make that one work and loses out a bit as he had to brake harder there, allowing Christopher now to pull away from him. But he is sitting in that slipstream. Hopefully he can get right onto the back of him and dive for that inside line as they get into Crocodile going through Minesweep, because he knows that if he runs a little bit wide, he's going to open it up for Geldenhuys to make his move on the inside. Gets a little bit of a better drive out. Now having a look up on the inside, Christopher Long just shuts the door saying, nope, you're going to stay behind me. I'm not giving this one away. Now going through Ingwe, he's got to have to try and make a move up on the inside as they now get a run down the start-finish line. Geldenhuys now right on the back there of Dennis as well, as Christopher Long now moves over to the left-hand side, knowing that he cannot run his slipstream through there, but he's got a faster drive going through there. This is going to be a three-way battle now as they head there into Crowthorne. They are three wide going through there, two wide, three wide. Geldenhuys is just saying, no, I'm rather going to fall back and let the two of you fight it out here through the XK sweep as they're now heading into Barbecue. You've got a little bit of contact there between them, and you can see the Drift Master coming in as he keeps control. Now they're again running three wide, and this is four wide now with Donnie. That's also, well, that is Gijsberg that's now also got into the mix there. Now this is becoming a four-way battle for the second position, and almost a fifth or five-way battle as Sean is also catching up to the back of them, saying, I'm also getting into this one. I want to get that position from you as well. Nagel having a look up on the inside of Dennis as they're now heading into the S's. Christopher Long now starting to slightly pull away again, but Peter has been able to make his move and pass Dennis there into the third position. Still getting or going up into the top scoring points for this evening, but Dennis is having a look up on the inside as they're going into Leeuwkop. A little bit of contact between them, pushing Geldenhuys a bit wider, getting that inside line, running it tightly through there, trying to push him off his racing line and get the best opportunity to make his move. With Donnie and Sean also being in the fight there, This is becoming quite interesting as Geldenhuys runs a little bit wide. Now Dennis has gone past him. They are too wide going through Cheetah. This is not a very good place to be too wide. As you can see, Geldenhuys running off the track, rejoining, but loses out on some of the time. Now have to cut the track close and running off widely there. Now we've got Sean as well as Gijsberg that has passed Pieter Geldenhuys as he lost a lot of time running wide out of Ingwe. Now going through the King and heading down to Crowthorne as Pieter Geldenhuys is now going to try and have a look up there on the inside of Sean as well as Gijsberg and try and pass both of them at the same time. Hard on the brakes, cutting it close, running a little bit wide, but he gets both those positions back again. But they are not out of the fight yet. They're running side by side, going through barbecue there. Now at the moment, you can see Sean and Gijsberg that is side by side, swapping positions every corner. And now Dennis has moved up all the way onto the back there of Christopher Long again. Christopher Long still trying to keep that second position, allowing the rest of the guys to fight behind him, and hopefully they can make a mistake and he can just comfortably drive away with the second position. But the leader for this one is Donnie van Rooyen, and he's been in the lead from the start of this one and still in the lead at the moment with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left of this race. As he's going through Leeuwkop now, he's got a 7.1 second lead over the second place runner, who is Christopher Long at the moment. There is 2 minutes and 30 seconds left for this race, so he's still got quite a bit of time to go. It's about 2 to 3 laps left to go, but he's very comfortably in that first position. If he can just maintain his cool and keep his consistency and keep that Mini on the track, he will definitely take the win for this one. And he does deserve it. He's been driving very hard in this one for this series, and he's really doing the best he can out there. Still in the second place, going there through Cheetah, we've got Christopher Long that is still running comfortably there with about a 0.5 second lead over Dennis in third position. In fourth, we still have Pieter Geldenhuys, who's got Gijsberg and Sean. That's all over the back of him. This is a three-way battle there for that fourth position, as the guys at the back are really trying their best to get past Pieter Geldenhuys, and everyone sees this guy as a legend out on the track, and to beat him means a lot to these guys. So they're really trying to do the best they can to put as much pressure on him and get past him, as like I said, he is a legend and the guys really do like beating him. It does make them feel very good out there. Further down the back, we still have Stefan and James that is sitting in the 7th and 8th position. Right at the back, we've got James Leach and Renier Leach in 9th and 10th, as the two brothers is racing each other and trying just to get in and finish this one and get those points, as we do know that Renier Leach is at the moment laying third in the position or in the points after tonight, but seeing that Sean is ahead of him and finished both races, or I think both races ahead of him, that means that Sean Webber should be able to take the third position again from James, and James will be finishing in fourth. But again, we will have to watch the incident reports after the race, and once the points are available, we will make it known on our Facebook page. So please do go to our Facebook page and follow us there under Sim Race Africa, as we do update our point standings and championship leaders, as well as the winners for the championships on our Facebook page. Stay tuned with us, and then we will get all of those things to you as soon as possible. Now we have Dennis all over the back there of Christopher Long. So he had a little bit of a comfortable section where he could get some time to breathe and just relax, but that's over now. This is now Dennis that is right there on him again, and he wants that second position. As they're going through the kink, he's having a look up on the inside, but that leaves him on the outside as they go through Crowthorne. Can he run around the outside? Nope. Christopher Long stays on the inside, keeping that line very close, not allowing Dennis any space to get past. Going there through barbecue, Dennis now has a look up on the inside, but Christopher Long has the better run out through there, running wide off the track. Perfect line going through there, just maintaining that second position. Now Dennis is having a look up on the outside as they're getting into Sunset. But Christopher Long is just doing the best he can, diving up to the inside, trying to go for the undercut, but can't make that one work. Nice on the outside for Clubhouse Ben. This is allowing Pieter Geldenhuys also to get closer to them, as well as Nagel and Sean. This is now going to become a four-way battle again as they go through the S's. They've got 2 laps left to go for this race. This is going to be an interesting final lap to watch. I'm going to have to stay with these guys and just get the action all the way to the end, as this is becoming very close. Guys are braking hard. You can see the smoke coming from the tires. Geldenhuys now trying to have a look up on the outside, then the inside. They are all running in the slipstream. Anything can happen. If you are just a little bit too late on the brakes, you're going to make contact and push yourself wide as they're going there through Mineshaft and heading into Crocodiles. Geldenhuys running wide early on the brakes as Christopher Long running very wide there and allowing Dennis as well as Pieter Geldenhuys to come past, and Nagel. Now he's got to fight his way back again onto the back there of Sean. Of Gijsberg with Sean behind him. He's going to try and have a look up on the inside as they're going through Ingwe, running down the start-finish straight. You can see them. These guys are losing their mirrors. What's going on? Sean trying to close up there on Geldenhuys, and unfortunately lost it big time there. Now standing still on the straight, causing a little bit of a hiccup there on the back. That is not something you want to see on the final lap of a race, especially not when it was close racing the way it was. But however, the race stewards will be having a look at that one at the end of the race to determine what happened there. We have Donnie that is in the lead on the final lap as he's now heading there into Clubhouse Bend. After Clubhouse Bend, he will be getting the S's. No, sorry, I'm lying. You will be getting barbecue and then off. No, it is the SS. I was right. You will be going through the SS and then heading up into Leeuwkop, as he's now got only a few corners left of this race. He's got a very comfortable, almost 10-second lead over the second position guy, who is Dennis at the moment. That's still fighting it out there with Pieter Geldenhuys for that second position. This is going to be an interesting one to watch coming to the end of this race. Can Geldenhuys take this one from Dennis, or will he be able to get that second position for this one and take the championship for this the BMW JCW Mini League? Just heading back up to Donnie van Rooyen as he's going through Crocodile and then into Cheetah and then Ingwe as he's coming through the second last corner. Now Ingwe is the final corner for this race. He is the winner of the finals for the JCW Mini League. As he's going through the start finish, you can see him sweeping left and right, being a very happy driver as he finishes this one in pole position. We have Dennis that will be finishing in second position, with Pieter Geldenhuys flashing his lights coming over the line. Christopher Long and Sean Webber there in third and fourth. Fifth is Stefan and James Crook there in seventh position. In eighth, we've got Gijsberg, James Leach, and Renier Leach that's passing or crossing that line side by side. Very well done to these drivers. This was an excellent race to watch. Very good show to them. I am happy with this one. And yes, I do agree there with Dangerous Banana on the YouTube channel. This was one of the best races of the season that I've seen so far. Well, guys, I'm going to try and see if I can get some of the drivers into the commentators booth and to have a little bit of a chat to them and to hear how the race was for them. Thank you for joining us on the YouTube channel. Feel free to just stick with us and hear out some of the guys' commentary. Otherwise, we will see you on the next league. And I hope that you guys have a lovely Sunday evening and enjoy the rest of the week. I know tomorrow is Monday, and let's hope it's not a blue one. But if it is, make it a bright and shiny one. I'll chat to some of the guys and keep you company for a little while longer. I'm going to see who can I get. Let's get Donnie in here for the first one. Hello, Donnie. There we go. You are live with me in the commentary booth. How was that second race for you?
A lot better than the first one. It was bumper cars, and the second one was nice.
Yeah, no, I
But it
think
didn't break, and I just pushed away from the fast guys.
I think this was your first win in the mini league this season.
Yes, yeah.
Was very well done. I do know that you like this track and you do very well on it. I have to say it was very well done in the second one. You had a very comfortable, almost a 10-second lead there over Peter Geldenhuys and Dennis that was fighting it out for second and third position.
Yeah.
But I have to say it was a very well-deserved win for you there tonight.
Thank you, Tommy. It was very nice.
I hope that we'll be seeing you for the Polo Cup that's coming up next.
Most definitely, I'll be there.
That's nice. Thank you, Donnie, for having a little bit of a chat.
Thank you, Tommy.
Bye.
Bye.
Dennis, James, and Sean. I've got all three of you in the commentators booth with me, seeing that you are the only ones left to talk to. How was the racing out there tonight for you? Well, firstly, let me start off with this. Dennis, very well done on that second position in the second race. You were fighting it very hard there with Sean and was Peter Geldenhuys, Sean. Who was else? Who was there otherwise?
Christopher Long.
Yeah, Christopher Long. There we go. That guy, you guys were really fighting it out there. Well done on that one. Was very good, very clean racing. But how was it for you guys?
It was good. It wasn't that clean. I ended up knocking Christopher in one of the corners. Unfortunately, he was defending a lot, so it kind of blocked me, and I tried to slow, but then made a little bit of contact. But then I had Peter on my arse, so I didn't want to hold up. But maybe I should have, but yeah, I had to keep going.
And it was very well done. I did see there was a little bit of contact, but nothing major. And everyone got through there in a very good manner. So very well done to you. I know that James had a bit of bad luck in this one. There was some contact in the start of the first and the second race, causing him to fall back to the back. So James, what happened there? What was the situation?
I can't remember what happened in the first one, but the second one I had the perfect jump. Accidentally went into second straight away. Everybody passed me. I was in the middle of two guys. One bumped me, got in front of I think Renier Leach, and we went off. But it's part of the racing and it's still fun, so no problems.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track to go side by side and make a pass. So it's very challenging.
Yeah, no, I know at a stage you guys were running 5 people trying to fight there for the second position, going 2 wide and 3 wide as you enter into the corners, and I'm sitting on my seat going, this is not going to work. But somehow you guys managed to make it work and get through those corners together. Very well done on that, hey?
Yeah, it was amazing at some points, especially when there's like 3 or 4 of us sort of around each other.
Yeah, no, definitely. But guys, it was nice having a chat to you. Thank you for joining me here. I do hope to see you guys in the fun lobbies that we'll be having. We are going to have a little bit of a break now before the start of the Polo Cup. But I do hope that you guys will be joining in the Polo Cup as well.
Thanks, and well done to everyone else as well.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll be announcing the winners shortly on the Facebook channel or the Facebook page. So please do go and follow and like our Facebook page to be updated to the championship finishing positions. But if I'm not wrong, we should have Dennis in first position with Peter Geldenhuys in second, and then we should have Sean Weber there in third position for this one. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a lovely week. Further, be safe, stay warm, and please do remember to wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your masks in public. I do know that the president has spoken tonight again with the third wave of COVID coming up, and the numbers is increasing rapidly. So please do stay safe and do your due to keep everyone in your family and around you safe. Thank you for joining us and have a lovely Sunday evening further. See you all on the next stream. Good night.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.